Eliette Olivia is a rising author who's written a children's book entitled Estey Plays Her Own Way. And this morning we want to welcome Eliette Olivia to Daytime. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's talk about your journey to writing this book. Tell us about it.
I'd love to. So I was born with an upper limb difference called symbrachydactyly, which is a big word for a little hand. That means I don't have fingers on this hand. I've had this my whole life. It's always been just a normal part of my life, and growing up, you start to realize that's not everyone's experience. When I was growing up, I never saw disability representation in children's literature, and so the more that I saw the need for that, working with different nonprofits that support children with upper limb differences, I decided that I wanted to share my story in the form of a children's book, and that's what ultimately led to Estey Plays Her Own Way.
And kind of give us a synopsis of the book.
Yeah, so it's about a young girl with an upper limb difference who lives in New Orleans with her family. It's where my family's from, so I drew inspiration from that, and she sees musicians playing in the French Quarter in downtown New Orleans and immediately falls in love with the trombone and is inspired to learn how to play. But obviously this is going to look a little different for her because she can't hold the instrument the way everybody else does. So she works with her parents and the rest of her family to create a prosthetic that allows her to play the trombone and really shine and just reach her fullest potential.
I love that. That's what a great story. And let's talk about, the process you went through. You told me last September you began this book.
Yes.
Talk to me about the process of writing this book.
Yes, so it started more as just a self-reflection activity. So I always wanted to kind of dive into my experience as a child growing up with an upper limb difference and just trying different things, whether it was trombone or learning how to ride a bike, different activities like that. Those simple things looked different for me than they did for other kids. So beginning by just writing poetry and thinking about what that experience was like for myself and what it's like for the kids that I work with now with upper limb differences. And it just went through a couple iterations and honestly kind of came out pretty quickly because the easiest story to tell is your own, right?
Right.
So it was just figuring out the best way and the exact message that I wanted to portray to the readers. So not just the people in my direct community of empowering them to approach their world with confidence, but all children and starting those conversations about disability, about equity. So what was the best way to deliver that message in an accessible way to children of a wide range of ages?
How long has the book been out?
It has been out for about a month now, and I've just been overwhelmed with the support from my direct community. I was at Lucky Finn Project weekend this past weekend in Michigan, and that's a nonprofit that supports the limb difference community, and seeing all the children come up to me that had seen my book like on Instagram and different things, and they were so excited to read it and to talk about Estey's story. It was just really reaffirming. So,
what does the future hold for you? More books?
Yes, definitely more books. I'm very excited. I don't know if that's going to look like Estey's story continuing or possibly expanding her universe to incorporate different characters. I want to wait and get into the schools, talk to the kids, and see where their needs are because I know what it looked like for me, but the world is constantly changing and they might have different needs, and I want to be a vessel for their voices, not just my own.
Eliette, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And sharing the story of Estey with us. Thank you as well. Estey Plays Her Own Way by Eliette Olivia, available on Amazon.com. And if you want more information, please go to jancarrollpublishing.com.